Welcome to AmeenAcademy.com. In History of Muslim World, let us discuss about pursuit of knowledge in medieval Islam. One of the most valuable sayings of the Prophet Muhammad is that pursuit of knowledge is incumbent upon all Muslims, irrespective of age or sex. It is adherence to this precious maxim, which was the cause of such remarkable intellectual advancement in the Islamic world of the medieval age. In another hadith, that is Prophet saying, we are told that an hours of pursuit of science is more valuable than attendance at the funeral of a thousands martyrs or offering prayers on a thousand successive nights. This is only another proof that Islam there is a special and emphatic injection for the pursuit of science and culture. The pursuit of knowledge was a central part of medieval Islamic culture, with the Quran encouraging people to seek the knowledge and learn. The Quran encourages the people to seek knowledge to get closer to God and His creation. Then, my Lord, grant me wisdom, join me with the righteous, give me a good name among later generations, make me one of those given the Garden of Bliss. Prophet Muhammad's teaching. The Prophet Muhammad said that the pursuit of knowledge is a duty of every Muslim. Prophet Muhammad has said that seeking knowledge can lead to paradise. Muslim rulers support. Muslim rulers supported the learning and institutions which contributed to widespread elementary education among Muslims. House of Wisdom. The Abbasid caliphs established the House of Wisdom in Baghdad as a dedicated space for scholarship. The House of Wisdom was a center for collaboration between Muslims, Christians, and Jews. Funding for scholars. Funding for scholars. Rulers funded translators, scholars, and philosophers to pursue knowledge in various disciplines. The concept of ilm, that is knowledge. Ilm is a concept that dominated Islam and gave Muslim civilization its distinctive shape. The Islamic Golden Age, which roughly lasted from 9th to 14th century CE, was a period of intellectual flourishing. The Muslim world became a leading center for science, philosophy, medicine, and education. The Al-Khwarizmi, born 780, died 850, was a Muslim mathematician and astronomer whose major works introduced Hindu-Arabic numerals and the concept of algebra into European mathematics. Latinized version of his name and of his most famous book titled Live on in the terms algorithm and algebra. Al-Khwarizmi lived in Baghdad, where he worked at the House of Wisdom, that is Darul Hikmah, under the Caliphate of Al-Mamun. The House of Wisdom acquired and translated scientific and philosophic treatises, particularly Greek, as well as publishing original research. Al-Khwarizmi work on elementary algebra, Al-Kitab al-Muqtasar fi Hisab al-Jabr wal-Muqabala, the compendious book on calculations by completion and balancing. Now, further discussion about seeking knowledge in Islam. Abul Abbas ibn Rumiya, it is said that in quest of medical herbs rare in the Western world, he had trenched on foot from Spain to Egypt and from Egypt to Syria. Abdul Mansur Rashiduddin Ali al-Suri left his own country on a similar quest in the company of a painter and obtained exact reproduction of rare and valuable herbs. The botanist Ziauddin ibn al-Battar had traveled in Greece, Spain, and Asia Minor in the pursuit of botanical lore. In fact, even in that early period, botanical study and research had attained to the state of perfection in the medieval world of Islam, which is rare even among the advanced and civilized nations of the present day. European physicians are loud and generous in their praise of the Arab. They say, materia in medica. In fact, the medical science of the West has failed, even yet it to solve the mystery of some curative secrets which were known to the Arab masters of the medieval age. The systematic study of science and literature had not even begun in the rest of Europe. When Muslim Spain had already reached a high degree of perfection in the pursuit of those branches of knowledge. Students from France, Germany, and England flocked to Spain in quest of learning. The physicians of Andalusia had attained to a high degree of skill in operative surgery, while the women of Cordova were experts in gynecology. Besides the systematic study of history, philosophy, and jurisprudence was pursued in Muslim Spain alone among all the countries of contemporary Europe. Gunpowder was first manufactured by Muslims, and it was the Muslims of Spain who first attained a degree of progress in shipbuilding, fortification, the art of metallurgy, pottery, and sculpture, and if irrigation by artificial channels. The names of Albu Mashar, Shabit bin Qurra, and Ali al Hassan are famous in the history of the world. It was from Spain again and in the 10th century AD that the knowledge of mathematics and physical sciences was first imparted to the rest of Europe. In Chambers' Encyclopedia, we are told that from the 9th to 13th century AD, the Muslims were the most expert physicians of Europe. They had attained to a high degree of skills in architecture also, in fact, of which we find ample proof in the mosques of Cairo and Jerusalem. The prosperity of Babylon, Egypt, and Persia was due to the adoption of advanced methods of agriculture. Cotton and sugarcane were first introduced in Europe by the Muslims. They were expert also in the manufacture of glass and metalware. The Muslims first invented paper. They knew how to weave and dye cotton and silk goods. And they were pioneers also in geography. It was Al-Mamun's period who established the first public library, and the Royal Library of Cordova was famous all over the world. It contained 600,000 volumes, and it was in imitation of this that the first public library in France was founded by Saint Louis. In the field of education, Muslim Spain was a model to all the world, nor was Spain the only part of the Islamic empire where education flourished. Crowds of students flocked from all quarters of the earth to the University of Alexandria, which had been started with 20 colleges. There were numerous educational institutions in the town of Cairo and Fez also. In the 10th century AD, an academy, the Council of the Learned, was constituted at Cordova with the many famous scholars who used to resort there from many different countries. Various questions connected with art, literature, and science were discussed in this academy, and many accomplished ladies took part in such discussions. Truly, in matters of education, the Muslims of Spain had made much greater progress than even the Greeks and Romans of old. From Spain, the benefit of education spread up to France, Italy, and other countries of Europe. Even North Africa, which for its ignorance is known as the Dark Continent, was in those days very far in advance of many European countries. The Arabs had invented the process of equation in algebra and had laid first beginnings of trigonometry. They had attained to great proficiency in the art of music also. It may be mentioned here that the Christians of the Middle Ages displayed no very great eagerness in the study of mathematics and science. To a certain extent, this was due to the hostility between Christianity and Islam. And in fact, this hostility was carried so far that people were often persecuted by the Christians for their pursuit of these branches of learning. We have said that the Arabs attained to a good deal of proficiency in music. The mode of music introduced by them still survives in the province of Valencia. The Moors, tunes, and melodies which still prevail in Spain and the city of Moscow are in clear imitation of the forms of Arab music. In one word, it may be said that the Arabs were exemplars to the rest of the world in music. Now we talk about genius Muslim ladies in medieval Islam. In general knowledge and scholarship, the Muslim ladies were not in any way inferior to their masculine competitors. In fact, in several respects, the women were distinctly in advance of them. Walnara, daughter of the Caliph Muqtakfi, had gained great reputation for herself as a poet of merit in Arabic. Aisha, the daughter of the Prince Ahmed of Cordoba, was the famous for her eloquence, while Labna was the private secretary of the Caliph Al-Hakam and was specially proficient in philosophy. Maryam, the daughter of Yaqub al-Ansari of Seville, used to deliver lectures on literature and rhetoric, while another lady, Shohda al-Khatiba, used to deliver lectures on the traditions and on jurisprudence. The skill and efficiency of Turkish ladies is fit to excite wonder even now. In Angora, there were five ladies who have qualified in aeronautics and have already attained distinction for themselves. Now, further discussion about the genius Muslim ladies in medieval Islam, the achievement of achievement and impact inspirational Muslim women span across thousands of years within and outside of Muslim communities. In the realm of academics, in particular, the article looks at how excellent women scholars of religious and worldly knowledge changed society and sowed the seeds of an incredible legacy carried by our young Muslim woman lady today. Throughout history, Muslim women have always made their mark, from the blessed woman praised in the Holy Quran to the bravery and the learnedness of the female companions of Prophet Muhammad SAW, from the bright scholars and inventors of the Islamic Golden Age to the fierce young women today looking to create change in their local communities. Great women in Islam come from a diversity of roles, background, and experiences. Within the fields of science, mathematics, and literature, in particular, many history books overlook the valuable contribution made by great Muslim women scholars, a number of whom have provided inventions and techniques which have revolutionized society and still continue to be used to this day. In honor of this, Unacknowledged great female scholars of Islamic history. This article highlights 10 of them and their achievements and how their legacy has helped bar the way of great Muslim women scholars of the modern age. Fatima al-Fihri. Fatima al-Fihri transformed the world of education by building the world's first university. 1,000 years later, Al-Qarawiyyin still stands world's oldest operating university, continuing its legacy as one of the leading spiritual and educational centers of the historic Muslim world. Al-Ijliya al-Astrolabi. Al-Ijliya al-Astrolabi laid the foundation for the regular use of astrolabes, an ancient device used to measure time and position of the sun and stars from the 10th century and onwards for astronomical research and calculation. Sutaida al-Mahmali. Sutaida al-Mahmali was celebrated scholar within her home city of Baghdad and was most regularly consulted for matters concerning inheritance. With her great command and knowledge of multiple fields of study, she was praised by three great 10th century scholars for her abilities and intellect. A full 200 years before, Europe would produce and acknowledge similarly educated women of the same caliber. Zainab bint al-Kamal. Zainab bint al-Kamal was a teacher in Salihiyya, a suburb of Damascus, while well known for its focus on religious study, having received her first three ijazah when she was only little year old. She had many students, many of whom would travel great distances to take from her knowledge and was known for her great manners and patience when teaching. In addition to being an excellent teacher, she having been indoctrinated into the Muhaddithat life from a young age. Also transmitted an impressive number of importance of Hadith collection throughout her lifetime, earning her she little Musnidat al-Sham. Next one, Shifa bint Abdullah. Shifa bint Abdullah was one of the first people in Mecca who could read and write. With her knowledge, she taught calligraphy to many people within the city, including her relative Hafsa bint Umar, who would later become a notable female scholar in her own right. Al-Shifa was also well versed in economics, as both Prophet Muhammad and Umar anhu would consult with her regarding the best business practice within the marketplace. Next one, Zainab al-Shahda. Zainab al-Shahda was a renowned calligrapher of the Abbasid Empire, famous for her work in Hadith and Islamic law and her command of literature and science. In fact, she was so good at her areas of expertise that many people made an effort to study and receive ijazah from her. Lubna of Cordoba. Lubna of Cordoba was self-made woman from the 10th century who, despite being born as a Spanish slave girl, defined an arts by raising the prestige in the Andalusian royal court, serving as the personal palace secretary for Sultan Abdul Rahman III and his son Al-Hakam II. In addition to being a royal advisor, Lubna was also a poet, library master and mathematician, as well as one of the first female solo travelers, traveling across the Middle East chasing books to add to the royal library. Next one, Rufaida al-Aslamiya. Rufayda al-Aslamiyya was one of the first Medinan Muslim, the world's first nurse, and the first female surgeon in Islam. Kind, empathetic, and an expert in her field, Rufaida trained other women, including Muhammad wives Khadija anhu, and Aisha, how to work in the area of healthcare. Rufaida was also a societal worker and helped children in need and took care of orphans, those who were handicapped and poor. Amra bint Abdul Rahman. Amra bint Abdul Rahman was a brilliant scholar with the best knowledge of the hadith passed down to the from Aisha radiallahu anhu. During her time under the tutelage of Aisha, Arma acted as her secretary and was responsible for all correspondences. Amra was likewise considered an authoritative and reliable voice of hadith during her time and was often relied upon by Islamic scholars for her depth of knowledge as a jurist and scholar. Aisha bint Abu Bakr. Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the youngest wife of the Prophet, was Islam's greatest female scholar. During during her lifetime, she contributed to the spread of Prophet Muhammad message throughout her narration of 2210 hadiths, that is sayings of Muhammad, and continued to serve the Muslim community for 44 years after his death. In addition to her dedications to Islam, Aisha was skilled in various other fields, including poetry and medicine, and was highly praised by early luminaries such as Al-Zuhri and her students Urwa ibn al-Zubair. Across all fields of studies, from social studies to the sciences, from the birth of the Islam to the inspirations emerging from our younger generations today, strong, determined Muslim women have made as lasting mark on our communities as we embrace more new generations of inspiring young women in the years to come. We see the legacy of the Muslim women scholars carried on and brighter than ever. Courtesy MWA.org. That is a great women scholars of Islamic history. So far we discussed about knowledge in medieval Islamic world. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.